Hey, what's up guys? My name is Captain, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the current state of Destiny and how it's at its lowest point currently. Now, before I get into the actual topic, I want to talk about my time playing this game, how long I've been playing it for, so that you as a viewer, you can understand where I'm coming from. I've been playing since Destiny 1, and I've taken breaks, but I've played through most of the content in that game, and I've played through most of the content in Destiny 2. I've played through all the expansions, all the expansion campaigns, all of the raids except for two of them, and I just want to say that right now the game is just boring. PvP is unbalanced and not fun. We haven't gotten a new map in years, and the new map we got with Witch Queen was like literally one of the worst maps in the game. PvE is not fun anymore. They patched it with Lightfall to increase the difficulty, but all they really did was just made the enemies tankier and hit harder, which didn't really solve the issue. It just made solo last sectors not fun, made GMs not fun, and then also the GM loot is just kind of horrible, not really worth it. I don't want an adept sidearm. I already have a adept hunt jury from back when GMs weren't impossible with a 3-man. Root of Nightmares is literally baby mode for raiders. It's baby's first raid. I carried my friend who has never done a raid before through that without him needing to do any of the mechanics. He can just clear ads the whole time and just shoot his rocket whenever we need to DPS a boss. The only interesting segment in that entire raid was planets, and that's about it. The raid looks cool. The set pieces are nice, but once you get the exotic or the title, if you want to go for that, really, it's just there's no reason to go back and play it. And even if you want to go back and play it, it's not fun at all. They brought back the Last Wish guns, which was cool, but we've had Last Wish for like a minute in the game. Maybe you could have brought back one of the raids that was in D2. Um, I feel like we're still feeling the impacts of Beyond Light removing all the good content, because like a week or two after the seasonal content, the game just goes back to feeling dry. The seasonal content almost always is just never enough. It's always just some boring mode, some mode that's like trying to live up to the menagerie, and it just never works. Now, it could be argued that the New Light players have a lot to do, but the thing that also sucks about what Beyond Light did is that the New Lights don't really have a good introduction. The New Light quest that they added is some of the worst content in Destiny 2. It's so directionless and janky. I mean, have you started a new account and played through the New Light experience? It's literally 2 hours of you doing the most mundane and boring crap. If you are a New Light player and you just came into Destiny alone and you didn't have friends like motivating you, you would quit. You would quit like the first hour in. You would be like, yeah, this, I don't really want to see this through. Not even mentioning the process of getting the DLC. That's another headache for a new light player. Where to begin? What DLC do I get? Do I get Lightfall and not get the other DLC? Do I get the 30th anniversary for the Gjallarhorn? Or do I get this bundle that has the 30th anniversary and Forsaken? Oh, but like, do I get all these weapons with the Forsaken ciphers, or like do I have to grind resources? Do I get a campaign with the Forsaken DLC, or like what is Shadowkeep? Like, oh my gosh, what is the Witch Queen? Like, how do you expect the New Light player to like look at that store page and understand what the hell to do? And Bungie, why are you still charging for Forsaken? The Dreamer City's still in the game, but the campaign that came with Forsaken and the other area that came with Forsaken, that's not even in the game. Why is it just not free? You did it with Curse of Osiris and Warmind. Why not just do it with Shadowkeep and Forsaken? It's like they don't want players playing their game or something, because like just getting into the game is such a headache. I feel so bad for any players that have to like go through the process of getting into Destiny and learning Destiny, because the developers are not helping you out at all. And to add insult to injury, New Lights getting into raids. That is such an intimidating process. Can we get raid matchmaking for the new lights? Can like we help these guys out a little more? I've met so many people who are so intimidated to get into raids because they've heard so many negative things about LFGs. Just add raid matchmaking at this point or some bull crap like that. Red War was the best thing about the launch of Destiny 2 and they removed it. They would have not needed to make a new light campaign if they just kept the damn Red War campaign in the game. It's so annoying. That's just free content that you could just give to the new light so it wouldn't be as hard. Maybe make the tutorials a little better, but then put Red War so that, they could understand the story a little better. Because the new light player getting into the game is just like, where do they even start with lore as well? That's another thing too. How do you expect players to be invested, especially new players, to be invested into the story if all the campaigns that were like establishing the lore, you just remove them? Speaking on the topic of purchases in Destiny 2, Destiny 2 is also a game that does not respect your purchases. Alright, perfect example. Lightfall added little to no content. Strand, a raid, and it gave you the season for free, which they had to do because how much content Lightfall was lacking. And even then, that seasonal content was ass. Okay, so they created a dungeon that was actually really interesting and worthwhile, but instead of making it free to lessen the blow of Lightfall being a terrible DLC, they go and charge $20 for the dungeon key when they should have made it for free. What's the point of purchasing a $50 DLC if you're just gonna go and like put all the worthwhile content on a dungeon key? Why am I even purchasing Lightfall at that point? And even then, all the interesting stuff that was in Lightfall, like the Quicksilver Storm, is locked behind the $100 paywall. Like the only interesting exotic is locked behind a damn paywall of $100. Destiny is just, it is a game that just does not respect your purchases. They went and increased the battle pass prices so that when you go to buy silver to go buy the battle pass, you need to get extra silver so that you have more over, so that you see you have more left over, you go ahead and buy more for microtransactions. It's sad to say, but at this point, Bungie is no better than Activision because this is the same crap that Activision pulls. What Bungie is doing currently is what Activision is doing. They think that all the content in the game is, microtransaction. They think that that's actually content. Putting ornaments for exotics and transmog for your armor sets behind the paywall, they think that that's actually content instead of making those sets actually armor sets that you can earn in game. Let me remind you that Bungie's pockets are not hurting at all for them to be releasing this kind of content. Sony purchased Bungie for $3.6 billion. And this, they didn't pay Activision this money. Bungie was an independent company when Sony purchased them. This was after the split with Activision Blizzard. That is insane to me. And they were doing this kind of crap. The kind of crap that Activision does, where they put the most expensive items in the shop, $20 for a damn armor set. That's crazy to me. Three of those armor sets cost more than the entirety of Destiny 1. And somehow that game has more content than Destiny 2 currently. The lack of respect that Bungie has for the player is crazy. That's why I'm so upset right now. Because Bungie is making so much damn money and they're not putting any content into this game that is worthwhile. And you cannot tell me that the fishing minigame that they added with this season is worthwhile. If Marathon does succeed, they are most certainly giving up on Destiny 2, and that's a fact. You cannot tell me that Bungie isn't getting ready to dip out on this game after they've made all this damn money. It might not stop developing for the game, but they're just gonna keep dropping mediocre season after mediocre season because it works, and they're not gonna make any type of good content for the game after Marathon does good. And I honestly don't know if I want to be a part of that. Overall, those are my thoughts on the whole situation with the game and why I'm so upset with the game and why I just haven't really found the motivation to play the game too much. If you like the video, like it, and if you dislike it, subscribe, and peace.